everybody, I'm Blackstone and welcome to my series of Cricut design space hacks. This is number 5 in the series, so if you haven't seen any of the others, I will link them down below and I'll also link the playlist up here so that you can find them and get started on your Cricut journey. Now, if you use any fun little tips or tricks to make your crafting easier, let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing how you guys are working with your Cricut. Now, if you have any questions as well, always leave those in the comments too. I'm happy to answer those for you. Without further ado, let's get started on the Cricut Design Space Hacks video number 5. One thing that I really like to do in Cricut Design Space is to help myself envision what my design will look like on the colored shirt or blank that I'm going to put it on. So one way to do that is to click where it says blank canvas down here at the bottom of your screen. Then at the very top, there is a little square that says color. If you click on that, you can change the color of your screen. So if you want to put it on a black shirt, you can see what that would look like. Maybe gray, maybe you want to do a purple shirt, a red shirt, whatever color it may be, you can test out those colors to see how it will look. On that same lines of being able to change the color of your canvas, you can use the advanced option both for changing the color of your canvas and for changing the color of your layers. If you click advanced, you have a couple options. You have a slide bar, which will help you get to a specific shading of color, and then you can use the little circle to really enhance that color to what color you are going to make it. So this is a really fun way, and you can also input hex codes. So like the hex code 000 is just black, but you can also put in another hex code. So BA4747, I don't know why that one always sticks in my head, but that's like this really pretty reddish color. But if you know the hex code for something, you can enter it and it'll really help you visualize what it's going to look like. And I just think that is such a handy little tool. And like I said, you can use that over here on your layers panel as well. So if you know you're going to use a blue, but maybe it's not quite that blue, maybe it is more of like a brighter, lighter blue, you can do that, and that can help you really get a look at what your design is going to look like. Now you can see here on my screen, I have a lot of different colors and items. So I'm going to show you what that looks like when I hit make, and you'll see that I have all of these different mats. Now, one thing that's really kind of silly is that these yellows look fairly similar, but they're not, so it's not going to cut on the same mat. And same with this green, very similar greens, but they're not the same, so they won't cut on the same mat. So in order to work with that, what you can do is use this color sync option, which is at the top of your layers panel, and this is super helpful. Number one, if you need the hex codes for the color you're using, they're listed right here. But also, you can simply drag the color to the other color, so the greens together, and then I can drag the yellows together to make those the same color. So let's say I want this pot to be purple. I can drag it into the purple section and make it purple. Maybe I want the white of the eyes and I want those to be blue instead, so I can drag those. So you can really make all of your colors similar or the same so that they'll cut on the same mat. Now, when I click make, what you'll see is I have less mats, but I have the same items of the same color on the mat. And it's just going to make it easier for you as far as when you're cutting things, making things that are similar, or you just want to use the same color for 2 different items. Using color sync is such a time saver, and I feel like people don't realize it exists. One of the things that's default in Cricut when you open it is the grid lines. Now, these can help if you need to visualize something measurement-wise, but I just prefer to look at the measurements here at the top of the screen. You can also get this to have like a really tiny grid, but this really makes my brain hurt and I can't handle that. So if you just want to completely get rid of your grid, you can go up to your settings or just click this little empty square between the 0 and the 0. You can adjust your grids super quickly that way. So if you want to look at your grid and you need something, or you need the smaller grid for something, it's really easy to access. It only takes a second and you can change it quickly and with just a couple clicks. sometimes it can help to make a custom material setting for a lot of reasons. Maybe one of their material settings doesn't work for something that you're using, or maybe it's a product you use a lot and you want to make a custom material setting so that you know that my foam cuts at this exact setting and it's just easier. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to go under our settings here in your profile, click settings, and then if you go to machines, you will see that you have custom material settings right here. Click start. Now you're going to need to connect to your machine, so make sure your machine is on and ready to go. Once it is connected to your machine, you're going to actually see a lot of information here, which can be so helpful when you're working with your Cricut. You can see that you have your cut pressure, how many times it's going to cut, what blade type it uses, and you can even edit these. Now, I don't really recommend editing those, but if you scroll all the way down, and you'll scroll for a minute because there's a lot of settings if you're using a maker, but you can do this with any of your Cricut machines. You'll see here that we have add new material. So I can click add new material, and I can make the name, we'll make it foam craft. And you can go ahead and save it. Now you can name it whatever you want. I have one called Bluey Ears that I used to cut the felt pieces for my crochet. So name it whatever you want. Then you can change all this information. You can change your pressure, how many times you want it to cut, up to 9 times. And you can also change what blade it uses. So for this, I'm going to use the deep point blade. I'm going to cut it twice, and I'm going to put it at 200. Let's put it at 300. Now you can drag it, or you can use the plus and minus arrows to move it, whichever one works for you. Then all you have to do is click save, and now you have the foam craft saved as one of your cut settings. You can go in and edit it if you need to change anything, or let's say we no longer want to use that, you can simply delete that, and you can just tell it, yes, I'd like to delete that custom material setting. So that's a way that you can really dial in those material settings to make sure that they're going to work exactly the way you want them to every single time.